Hello everyone, back to today's second video. So we're going to have a look at weather for next week to 10 days. So today's second video, this is going to take us around the 11th of November. So going into the second week of the month with week 10-day video updates now. We'll extend out beyond that with the extended GFS and E7 ensembles over into around a couple of weeks. And we'll have a look at the CFSV2 for December at the end of the video. Now, JMA Friday has been released. That's your month-ahead look ahead, and it's taking us through pretty much the whole of November. So it is a proper sort of November month-ahead look ahead, and it looks like it's going to be a pretty cool and wet month. So have a look at JMA Friday and see what's going on there. Busy day at Galsworthy's today. So got Terry Scully's November forecast coming up at around 5 o'clock this evening, and then at 7. We'll be releasing the first Christmas update. So we're beginning the Christmas countdown for another year. We always get that going on the 1st of November. It's a bit of a tradition at Galsworthy's. So Christmas countdown will be starting up again at 7 o'clock this evening. And we'll have a bit of fun and a bit of a laugh with that one. And at the same time, the Christmas shop will be opening as well. So I'll talk you through that at the beginning of the Christmas update. But if you've got any Christmas shopping to do at Amazon, then hold off on it, because you'll be able to do it, hopefully, through Galsworthy's. Right, let's get on with it. We're going to start off in the tropical Atlantic. Excuse me. So we've got two areas of interest. We have this yellow X down here, a very long way south in the southern part of the tropical Atlantic. That's disturbance 1. And there's a 0% chance of this becoming a tropical cyclone in the next 2 days, and a 0% chance in the next 5 days. So we don't have to worry about that. And then Rebecca up here near the Azores has gone post-tropical. So yesterday Rebecca was a tropical storm. Today, Rebecca is a post-tropical storm, giving maximum sustained winds of 35 miles per hour, with a minimum central pressure of 1,005 millibars and moving eastwards at 20 miles per hour. I think we're pretty much done with Rebecca as well. Otherwise, there's not much else going on. We are coming to the close now of the hurricane season. You can sometimes get tropical storms and hurricanes in November. They're quite rare, quite unusual. So I will think this hurricane season is probably shutting down right now. But we will continue to keep an eye on it. Probably won't feature in the videos much more unless something happens. But I will keep checking it every day and see whether there's any sort of late season developments. Right, so the central temperature is in for October. This is the CET page at galsworthys.com. We've got every year's CET going all the way back to 1659, just here, both in terms of annual CETs and also monthlies. So if we scroll down, we can have a look through the decades, and we come to 2019. 2019 just there. And this is the number for October, coming out at 10.0. So we didn't quite get into the 9s. We arrived there at 10.0. That is a colder than average October against both data series. If we come down here, we can see our sort of averages that we're setting these CTs against. So we've got 61 to 1990 there. October central temperature average for 61 to 1990 is 10.6, so with 0.6 of a degree under that. And for 81 to 2010, the more modern average, actually not all that much difference for October. That one averages at 10.7, so 0.7 of a degree under 81 to 2010. So whichever data series we take, this is a colder than average month, definitely. So to be cold average, you need to be around half a degree or more below average. It's said to be above average, really. You want to be half a degree or more above average to be warmer than average. Within half a degree either side of average, you basically have an average month, if you see what I mean. So the last time we had a October CT as cold as this, when was it? So we've got 2019 just there at 10.0, of course. 2018 comes out at 10.6. 2017, very warm, October then, 12.4. 2016 at 10.9, 2015 at 11.0, 2014 another very warm October at 12.5, but had a really warm Halloween, I'm sure you remember, and also 2013 was another very warm one at 12.5. The last time it was colder then than this year was 2012, which had an October CET of 9.7. So it's definitely the coldest October that we've had since 2012, coldest October for quite some time. If we scroll back, we can see that we also have 2008 there, sitting at 9.7. And 2003 was actually the last time it was colder than that, at 9.2. And for a really, really cold October, we have to go back into the 1990s, a very long way back. We get to 1993, which had an October CET of 8.5, and 1992 was even colder at 7.8. That was our last really cold October 1992. They were a little bit more frequent, these colder Octobers, a while back. So if we go to 1981, for example, we've got 8.6. October 1980 at 9.0. These are more regularly colder than average months then, back into the early 80s and into 1970s, actually 1974. At 7.8. I think there's even a little bit of snow around in October 1974. Anyway, coming back to this year, we can say that we have had a colder than average October, the coldest October since 2012, and also the last time we had a colder than average month was quite some time back. Set against 61 to 1990 anyway, it was actually March 2018. So all of these months just here, set against 61 to 1990, not necessarily 81 to 2010. But all of these years, warmer with the CET, more than average of CET, until October. So quite a notable month what's happened in October, I'm sure you'll agree, and our first cold average October since 2012. And it looks like these cool conditions are going to carry on into November as well. So could this turn out to be a cold average autumn? Well, it's early days on that. It will be determined by what happens in November. But certainly the first 10 days of the month looking quite cool. So these are the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles for the next couple of weeks. We're looking at Leeds today. Someone's asked us to have a look at Leeds. And by the way, if you would like to have your local town or city featured in this part of the video, then please do let us know, either in the comments at GavsWeatherVids, or you can email gavsweathervids@gmail.com or ask us on social media. And we are very, very happy to feature your local town or city, or nearest town or city in this section of the video. I don't think we can go down to village level yet with bits, but we can certainly show you local city or town. So we're looking at Leeds. We're starting off a little bit above average today. Actually, it's going to be quite a warm start to November with above average temperatures. Once today's out of the way, temperatures are dropping down close to average. And then early next week, we go colder than average. Looks like we keep those temperatures, upper air temperatures, colder than average through into the second week of November. That's the 11th of November, for example, just there, day 10, looking cold and average there. Actually, there is a bit of a cold snap, but showing up here somewhere from around the 8th to like the 11th or 12th, around here. We could go genuinely quite cold. There might be some wintry showers in northern eastern parts of the country. After that, it looks like the temperature stage a little bit of a recovery, but only sort of going back close to average. There's no sign of anything sustained warmer than average coming up on within the first half of November, let's say. Again, dates on bottom of the charts. And quite unsettled too. Regular precipitation spikes really from beginning to end with that ensemble tells us that there will be further showers or longer spells of rain in Leeds, and that will be the case in other areas too. Temperature anomalies from the 1st to the 9th of November, a little bit below average in the north. Near North England and Wales, this does take into account today's milder conditions. Once today is out of the way, I suspect these will probably go a little bit cold on average. Notice Scandinavia looking very cold in the week ahead as well. Winter really is going to be digging in across large parts of Norway and Sweden. Those sort of areas in the week ahead. Further south, though, across the rest of Europe, generally above average temperature anomalies, particularly so in this eastern, southeastern corner. Precipitation excuse me, precipitation anomalies are looking drier than average across the far northwest of Scotland down to Northern Ireland. Elsewhere, though, we're wetter than average. Looks like it's going to be cool and unsettled first week to November. That's how the GFS is looking for Monday. Low pressure is dominating the weather in from off the Atlantic, so showers or longer spells of rain on Monday. On Tuesday, bonfire night, that low pressure moves over into the southern North Sea, and we start to pull in some colder winds from the north or from the northeast, and we could see some wintry showers turning up across the northeastern parts of the country on Tuesday. Wednesday and into Thursday sees more areas of low pressure coming in from the Atlantic. Notice these low pressures are taking a southerly track. The black line here is the jet stream. That's to the south of us on the cold side of the jet. We bring these areas of low pressure in northwest to southeast. And as they dive in across the country, they do pull in colder air from the north on the northern side of these areas of low pressure. So next week could be one that turns increasingly cold and maybe a little bit wintry across the northern parts of the country. It wouldn't rule out the chance of snow to low levels across Scotland by the end of next week, as this area of low pressure here is moving away to southern North Sea. Again, cold northeasterly winds caused by the jet stream being to the south of us, a line northwest to southeast, and allowing these cold winds to push in from the north and from the northeast too. Moving up towards day 10, we can see that the cold upper air temperatures are digging further and further southwards. So this is how things are looking, for example, on Saturday the 9th of November. We're bringing the -5 Celsius ice firm across most parts of the country there. And that's cold up the night frost and cold enough for wintry showers in northern eastern parts of the country, and probably snow showers across the northern east parts of Scotland to low levels. Proper northerly to northeasterly wind there on Sunday the 10th of November. All parts of the country within the -5 Celsius ice firm. This is a really quite potent cold snap that is showing up here for so early in November. And that's how you look at day 10. Just beginning to start to reach a bit of high pressure in from off the Atlantic, but still cold, still bringing winds in from a north to northeasterly direction. We're under that ridge of high pressure as we go beyond day 10. Low pressure starts to develop down to our south. This is quite interesting because there's a very warm upper air temperature sitting, well, very warm upper air temperatures are sitting just to our east, and that could fuel this area of low pressure with cold air from the north, of course, warm air coming in into low from the south and from the southeast. That could produce some very wet weather maybe as we head towards the middle part of November, so that's one to watch. And then beyond that, up to the middle of the month, high pressure then starts to take over, and that'll probably return us to quite cold conditions, frost and fog early and late, and those type of conditions. Quieter though around the middle part of November. GM looks like that, unsettled on Monday with showers, long spells, rain. That low pressure moves away to our east on Tuesday, pulls in cold winds from the north and northeast, but in comes the next low pressure from Wednesday through to Thursday. That brings further rain. At times we look very unsettled and quite cool as we go into the end of next week. And then moving up towards day 10, GM's a bit different. Increasingly, it has high pressure building over Scandinavia and to our north, which is actually turning winds into the east there as we get towards day 10, as these areas of low pressure being blocked both to the west and to the south of us. The ECM looks like that again, very unsettled on Monday with low pressure dominating the weather. That low pressure clears away to the southeast on Tuesday, pulls in these cold northeasterly winds. Bit quieter around the middle part of the week, but quite cold, and then low pressure back in off the Atlantic on Thursday. As that comes into the cold air, there may be a little bit of snow on the northern edge across Scotland, possibly northeast parts of England too. In the second half of next week, these low pressures keep coming in, but on a southerly track. So as we get towards day 10, this is Sunday the 10th of November, as we get towards day 10, cold northeasterly winds are digging in once again. And then high pressure begins to build to our north and northeast. That's trying to set up a Scandinavian high, and it is actually turning winds into like a northeasterly. So that looks like quite a cold end to the ECM run as well. I have to say, the first 10 days of November could be showing us quite an impressively cold central temperature, I think, by the time we get to the 10th and the 11th of the month. This is the precipitation forecast based on that ECMWF run. So quite unsettled today, showers or long spells of rain coming in from off the Atlantic. Quite stormy tomorrow. This low pressure brings heavy rain in across England and Wales, and on its southern flank we have got some really tight back ice bars as well. So expect gales, possibly severe gales up the channel and around those southwestern coasts tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. Further showers, if not longer spells of rain through into Sunday, but Sunday does turn a little bit quieter, not quite as much rain around, and the winds aren't as strong either. That's Monday, further showers, if not longer spells of rain then. And as we go into Tuesday, this is when things start to turn a bit colder. Showers becoming more confined to eastern parts of the country on Tuesday, bonfire night. Otherwise turning drier, but also turning colder. Suggestion of a little bit of winteriness in the showers over Scotland. A rather quieter interlude as we go into Wednesday, but low pressure by the end of Wednesday is starting to move back in off the Atlantic, bringing outbreaks of rain, turning to snow as that rain hits the cold air up across Scotland. And it's a little bit of a snow event that's being forecast there for central, northern and eastern parts of Scotland on the cold side of that low pressure. A little bit of winteriness even coming down into parts of northern England there. Through sort of Wednesday to Thursday next week. Further showers along the spells of rain carry on rotating around that area of low pressure, and then in comes the next low. This is going quite a long way out now. We're up to the 9th of November. So low pressure coming across England and Wales this time. Suggestion of a little bit of snow maybe over high ground of Wales with that one. Otherwise, just heavy rain continues. And then as we get to day 10, which is going to be the 11th of November, just beginning to turn a bit quieter as that ridge of high pressure builds in from off the Atlantic, turning things drier but also rather cold. These are the options that are on the table in the ECM ensembles today for day 10. This is the 11th of November. We have 20 members of the ECM ensembles with the mid-Atlantic ridge going towards Greenland and low pressure to our south and southeast. This includes the operational and the control run. Cold with winds in from the north and northeast with that, but probably drying out as that ridge builds in from the west. 13 members of the ECM ensembles with above average heights to our west and southwest. That's setting things down, probably quite chilly. 10 with northern blocking and also a mid-Atlantic ridge. Low pressure is over into the south-southeast, so that's bringing in quite cold east and northeasterly winds. And then 8 just here again with the mid-Atlantic ridge going up towards Greenland. Trough of low pressure over top of the country. Winds will be in from the north. That looks unsettled and quite cold as well. I think most of these ensemble members are looking cold up to like the first 10 days of November. Into the extended range, so this is the option. These are the options we've got for 2 weeks' time. This is the 16th of November. 21 members of the ECM ensembles with above average heights sitting to our north, below average heights to our south, bringing winds from the east. They could be quite cold and maybe a little bit wintry. 20 with above average heights through the UK from the Atlantic up to Scandinavia. Jetstream's going up there, but will probably be cold from frost and fog. And then 10 with a deep trough of low pressure set over the top of the country. That just looks very, very unsettled. Probably a bit on the cool side with that as the jet stream is digging southwards. This could be setting up a colder than average first half to November quite easily. Finally, I did say we'd have a look at December, so this is the CFS V2 700 millibar height anomaly for December, and it's looking very unsettled, below average heights over top of the country. Jet stream is on a little bit of a southerly track, but the main thing with that is that it does look very, very unsettled in December. It's forecasting a milder than average month with above average temperatures, and also a wet month with precipitation anomalies coming out above average. I don't think at this stage we need to take that too seriously. So, it looks like we're going to have quite a cold first half to November. I think that's beginning to come through quite clearly within the model output. How cold it is remains to be seen, but certainly I think the deviation to average looks like it'll be below average, and it follows on from the cold October as well, of course. So, or the cold and average October as well, of course. So we could be setting up a cooler than average autumn, which has been very, very rare over the past 25 years or so. Really haven't had many below average autumns at all. So that could be what's setting up here. We'll wait and see. It's early days. We may get a very mild spell later in November that could stop that from happening. But certainly I think we definitely say the first 10 days of November looking cooler than average. There is quite a potent cold snap showing up there as well later next week. And possibly below average with the temperatures for the first half of the month too. We'll see what Terry Scully has to say about that in his forecast, which will be posted to Gas Office at 5 o'clock this evening. And then, as I say, at 7 o'clock, bit of fun, we're going to do the first Christmas update. So, got 25 of those penciled in between now and Christmas. So, update number 1 for Christmas will start at Gas Office at 7 o'clock this evening. And, of course, we'll open the Christmas shop as well. Right, that's all for now, though, and thanks for watching.